think that was recorded for the One Nation album because it had Big Daddy Kane on it. It had Danny Boy on it, and it had me and Pac on it. And I wrote the verses for MC Hammer. So the verses that y'all hearing that MC Hammer spit is the verses that I wrote for him for that album, or for that song, shall I say. Too Late Playa. Who did that track? I kind of want to say Johnny J, but I'm not sure. I'm a keep silent on that one. I don't really hate that track. I don't know if there was a featured guest on it. I know MC Hammer wanted me to write that for him. I did write all the verses for MC Hammer for that song, You Can't Touch This Part 2. So I don't know if he was later going to add somebody on it as a remix, which could have been Pac. You know what I mean? But I don't know if he did add Pac on it, because all songs, whether they was remixes or single songs from a solo artist, they were done pretty much at the same time before they even came out. They already knew who was going to be on what remix and this and that. So it is a possibility that maybe after Hammer went in there and laid his verses, that same night Tupac could have went in there, or that next night or that next week, Tupac could have went in there and laid his verse for it. You see what I'm saying? Oh yeah, definitely. That song definitely exists. Well, the song had I don't know how it got out, but the song had got out to this producer named Ant Banks, and Banks at the time, I think he was working with Priority Records, and Priority Records called me and said, "Yo, I want to cash you out for this Ghetto Star song, and I want to put one of my artists on it." So at that time, I told them, "No, y'all can't cash me out for that." And they tried to throw all kind of lugs and, "Well, man, you might as well sell it to us. You're not going to get it cleared. It's going to be impossible for you to get it cleared." I told them, I said, "Look, for one, y'all don't even know the relations that I got with Tupac Mama for y'all to be sitting here telling me that I can't get it cleared." I said, so on that note, I'm going to double my statement by saying no twice to y'all before y'all even ask me a second time, do I want to sell it? I'm going to tell y'all no again. So at that point, you know, it leaked out there. I went to told Tupac's mom, I said, "Mom, this song got leaked. I don't know how. They plan on doing some dirty stuff behind my back." She said, "Oh, what, the Ghetto Star song?" I was like, "Yeah, the Ghetto Star song." And Banks got a hold of it and took me off of it and put Badass on it. So right then and there, she canceled any future recordings with Ant Banks for the new Tupac album, because Ant Banks was supposed to do the beat for I Wonder If Heaven Got a Ghetto. So after the word got around that, you know, they was behind that.
Bombfirst.com.
They canceled all productions. Jive Records canceled all productions with Ant Banks for any future Tupac projects. So then I later confronted Badass about the situation. And I was like, "Yo, Badass, what's up with you, you know, and this song that, you know what I'm saying, that you saying that y'all recorded." So Badass was like, "Man, they came to me with the song, and I didn't even know you was on it. When they presented the song to me, it had already had Tupac verse on it with an empty spot on it, and they wanted me to bust to it." I said, "Oh, okay." I said, "So who did that?" And he was like, Ant Banks. I said, oh, okay, so Ant Banks put you on to this. He was like, Ant Banks brought it to my attention. Without you on it, it was only Tupac verse on it. And of course, I'm gonna say yeah. I said, oh, okay, no, it's good. It's it's respect. Anybody's gonna do that, especially if they're not knowing that. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's on it. So Badass then did an interview, an online interview, saying, "Oh yeah, they were scandalous. They brought this song to me that Nuttso did with Tupac, and they thought that Nuttso was a nobody ass nigga and wasn't gonna surface. But the jokes is on them. Nuttso surfaced to prove that this song is his. So that got cleared up, and you know what I'm saying? I respected Badass for coming, you know what I'm saying, forth with saying that and doing an interview about that. So when he did the interview about that, I was like, okay, all right, cool. That's cool with me. I already talked to Moms about the song being leaked. She put a stop to anything. She put the song out there in its original form on the Better Days album. So the song that y'all was hearing on Better Days album, Ghetto Star, that is the original version. I was signed to an independent label called Snake Pit Records. That was based out of Oakland, California. And actually, I wasn't really signed to the label. We just had an agreement with that label, Snake Pit. Then we went to Hammer, like, okay, look, Hammer, we're going to do another agreement between me, Snake Pit, and Hammer. So Hammer then took that whole package up under him and said, okay, Death Row, this is what I got to offer. So I never did sign no Death Row papers. You see what I'm saying? Tupac came to me and said, hey, yo, Nuttso, we had a meeting about you. And I was like, oh, okay, well, what's going on? He said, then Tupac say, I'm going to keep it real with you. I'm going to let you know what was spoke on outside your presence. And I said, okay, well, holler at me. I'm all ears. Open up. So Pac say, we had a little friendly argument about your album and you as an artist. I said, okay, so what's going on? He said, MC Hammer brought you down here and introduced you to Death Row. Suge wants you directly on Death Row. I want you on my label, /Death Row. So I broke it down to Pac. I said, look,
bombfirst.com.
I'm rolling with you. Pac would say, okay, well, we need to say no more. So I told Pac, I said, I'm rolling with you. MC Hammer brought me down here and introduced me to y'all. So off top, he's going to get his cut. Me and Hammer had already talked about what we was going to do. He brought me down here specifically to ride and meet with you. Death Row is going to get his cut anyway because whatever you put out is going to be /Death Row. So therefore, Pac, I'm rolling with you. Pac was like, okay, cool. Say no more. So I was going to be the first artist on Tupac's label.